To hear you. You have a great and healthy introduction. That's wonderful. Okay, so how long have you been working on your communication skill, and you want to become as a philosopher and writer? Like you have a wonderful desire. So when did you come this thought to start this kind of activities?
Like only related to English are just the things that
The things is
become a
that
writer.
because become a writer and philosopher, because most of people what they do as a student, they want to grab some technical knowledge, they want to become employee of government sectors, some want to go for the business, and few of
Yeah.
them they love to go this kind of activities, they love to go this kind of hobbies. So
Mm.
is it your hobbies, or just you graced it with the view to explore, expand your knowledge? Just I want to know about it.
See, hobby. If I were to, I just talk about my hobby is reading. But basically, it's connected to mission of my life. It can be different according to person because the things that we have a person differently. I think different have differences from one to another. So like other people want to do some kind of job, it may be private or government as well. But for me, I think of course initially I was thinking that okay, what if I start doing preparation some kind of exams, and what if I start working in the government office, and I think and the top level things of posts like if I were to join UPSC, something like that. But once I invested some time, I realized that okay, I'm not the person who is going to spend my whole life in this way, like working in the private as well as public sector. So then I
Hmm.
started this things of my life. Like, of course, I was having this hobby like reading from my childhood, but when I given this thought whether I should pursue it as a mission of my life or not. So then, of course, the answer was yes, because I believe this is how I can be a decent person, because this is how can I improve my things, like the I think the qualities as a person. And the other thing is that I want to explore about myself as well as the world. So for that purpose, I made this. Okay, this is my part of life, and this is my mission of life. That okay, I want to become a writer as well as philosopher, because for that purpose, I'm reading a lot of things. The resources available with me, like philosophical, historical, geographical, anthropological, psychological, and some literature as well. So of course, for that purpose, I'm here to have the conversation. So basically, then the next answer, like when I started thinking about English language and how I landed in this arena of English. So there was when I made up this plan. Okay, I'm going to become a writer as well as philosopher. So I
Hmm.
need to read or explore more lot of content, like each and everything, like philosophy, some sociology, historical facts, like each and everything that is available. Different genres of subjects. So there I need to assess the these kind of things, but it was available mostly in English only. So maybe for that purpose I started this one, that okay, I should start working on English language. And the primary I think purpose to start to learn this language, because when I changed my media in 11th class from Hindi to English, so I have to opt for like physics, chemistry, mathematics, and these subjects were available in English only. So maybe for that reason I have changed then, okay, my medium from Hindi to English. And right now I think suppose nowadays English is I think universal language, because this is I think the language which connects the world, because this is how we can have the interaction with the people. Like you may belong to another state, I belong to another state, but we're still having the conversation because of this language. So for that purpose I'm starting working on this lane, because when you will start and decided okay, you are going to become a writer as well as a philosopher. So your whole purpose becomes like you want to be able to express the ideas that you are having, so that the other people, even the illiterate one, can understand basically what you want to talk about. And for that purpose I'm just giving a try, basically polishing my skills, so that as a writer, as a philosopher that I want to become, I would be able to express the ideas in a very lucid, very clearly, so that the people can understand in an easy way. So maybe for that reason I have started. Yeah.
That's great, wonderful. Okay, really, it's very great. I'm really got bemused You are totally covering a lot of things, and I believe that if someone have this kind of thought and this kind of mindset, sure they are going to become a good philosopher. And already I know that as a philosopher, being a philosopher, people must have the philosopher must have some broader knowledge. They can express the thing. If something is going to, maybe someone is going to ask by someone, so they can explain a better way and in broader way, and it's need a little deep knowledge as well. So
Yes,
the
yes.
things you are doing, so these days, are you writing any book, or what are the things are you writing to enhance your writing skill?
Like when I was in college days, so I used to write and started writing. So because of overindulgence in writing, I scared that okay, if I start investing huge time in writing only, definitely I'm not going to pass my exams. So at that
Mhm.
moment of time, I had to just stop my writing skills. Writing basically the things that I was writing, like some was motivational data, some was philosophical as well. So at that point
Mhm.
of, and maybe this one can be could be the reason, like I start the writing. Another could be like I was not having the amount of knowledge that I must had at that point of time. So maybe the other reason was to stop my writing, and I was engaged myself with the studies because I was in college. So of course it was not like that I was pursuing the philosophy, something like that. Even I did not have the access to the content
Mhm.
that I am having right now. So I stopped then, but I think after I have finished my college studies, when I was in my masters, I came across many things. And basically in masters I opted masters through IGNO because I want to spend my time with the studies, not to get up early in the morning, go to the university each and every day and waste your time. So to save my time off, I just after okay, I should do masters through, I think, IGNO. So I was
Mhm.
my room, in this room and studying all the time in different kind of things like politics, history, geography, anthropology. I think the I philosophical as well, some literatures as well, because philosophy is not something, because when you talk about that, okay, I'm going to become a philosopher, then you must be able to understand each and everything. It doesn't matter whether it is from philosophy, it is from sociology, it is
Mhm.
from basically you must have the knowledge as well as, and you philosophical philosophy is nothing but is a kind of ideology that you associated with, and you
Mhm.
basically try to bring the truth to the people by, I think, mystifying the, I think, I think by debunking the myths that has been created by the society.
That's cool. And I think you always prefer to uh, give a longer answer. And while listening to you, a lot of questions come to me, and all of sudden it escape from my mind.
Yeah,
So it's very difficult to me, gather all the questions. Okay, one
yeah,
question now I am able to recall that was flashing to my mind. The question is that, as we know that a lot of writers, can you hear me?
yeah. I can. Yeah,
Okay, your video get stuck. Okay, just I'm going to speak. As we know that a lot of philosopher, writers, and good influence personality have some different codes. They always go through one and two codes. They whatever they absorb, they whatever they get experience in their life, and they start writing some specific words, quotes, and phrase. So
yeah.
I want to know from your side, did you get this kind of thoughts sometimes your mindset, you just write this one, this is best for the society, this code will help to increase my personality, to influence to me. So did you get through this kind of activity?
Like you asking that, okay, whether I got some quotes or phrases or not. Of course, I'm getting a more lot of
That means
phrases.
just I want to know the ideology, because when you are going to write something, when you are going to pay the attention towards something, when you are going to think a lot, at this situation some idea and some new terms automatically come to mind. And
Yeah,
as a writer, maybe being a writer, you maybe have written many of things. So just I want to know, it happened with you or not?
of course it happens, but basically whenever these kind of ideas came into your mind and come into your mind, you have to give it a logical reasoning whether I should carry it or not, because sometimes it happens like if you are reading Bhagavad Gita, definitely the ideas will start coming to your mind would be related to Bhagavad Gita only. And if you start
Hmm.
some other content or listening or watching, definitely the ideas start coming from that side as well. So here
Hmm.
I'm just giving logical reasoning. If I find that okay, this is the one that I should carry, but sometimes if it is not coming, I think from a core of art, definitely I'm not going to write about it, because it happens
Hmm.
like talking to you right now, and you are having a little bit information about me. It's very natural. But if
Hmm.
you want, if you want to carry only this conversation, so you have some information about me, and next time you want to talk to another person, and if you start talking about myself only, then definitely that discussion is not going to be effective, because the other person may feel ignored, that okay, you are ignoring because you are talking about myself into the person. So instead of
Hmm.
talking about me with the other person, you can have the conversation with your that the ideas that originally in your mind, or you can
Hmm.
add up from another person. So that is the case with myself. So I'm here basically read each and everything, see where is truth basically manipulated and where it is not. And if you find that okay,
Hmm.
this is where it has been manipulated, then you can put up your own explanation. Okay, I think basically if you are say that okay, I'm going to work on philosophy, you can't claim that okay, my answer would be the final answer. You just said you can say that okay, this is my explanation, and I am giving this explanation considering these kind of aspects like 1 2 3 4 5 6, but this is not
Hmm.
my final answer. But till you get for your final answer, you can use it as a final answer. And once you are, I think, getting some better answer, then you have definitely add up in your storehouse. So yeah, of course, but I think instead of carrying any one's idea, I just want to go with the truth, as well as I think the balance of my, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. That's good. So, as you are a student of IGNU, am I right?
Yeah.
So you want to study a lot at your home, and you want to explore the things. You want to save your energy and time. You want to implement all of the things with these languages. Sometimes you have to explore many subjects with a view to explore your idea and clarify your thoughts. So, how much time these days are you putting to get through the books and reading and writings, like all those things?
Basically, my whole time goes with the study, but sometimes it I think gets affected, like when I have some issues like weather issues, like a few days back I'm having this issue like the electricity is not here because of heavy rain. So basically I
Mm,
was seeing this kind of idea since my school days, but in village it is not possible for a person to have the access to these kind of resources like just I'm talking about. And once
mm,
I completed my masters, and now because of internet, I think I am able to access these kind of documents, these kind of books through network, because it's not possible for a person who live in village and to buy each and every book. So nowadays, with the help of I think internet, I can have the summaries. I can have their I think first I think the ancient old version of the document on internet in the forms of PDF. So I'm just giving a try. I'm basically these the things that I'm talking about. I'm not completely done with the subjects, but of course the
mm,
crisp little bit with me, the the things that I should be working upon. But if I just say that okay, I'm done with the things, no, I'm just starting out. But of course I'm having the clarity, and maybe with that clarity I'm investing my time with the studies. So of course sometimes I have to give few hours to my family because I'm living with my family. So it's very natural that I think spend some time with my families, like helping out them in household chores. But the rest
mm,
time, I think, except my personal things like eating, I think taking bath, exercise, something like that, I'm investing in my studies. But sometimes it is it gets affected by the things that I used to face while living in the village. So yeah, and you can see another thing that I'm having this conversation English. I never worked on this English as a language. I basically kept
mm.
working on because of studies. I'm able to have the discussion in the people, but I found that okay, this
Okay.
is how. And I found that if I start having conversation with the people, basically I would be able to communicate to the people better way. So of course for that reason I'm having the conversation with the people in English, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, just I wanted to ask related to English question, but few things you already have clarified. When you are going to connect to multiple people from multiple states, so maybe you are going to enjoy the conversation. At the same time, you are going to get a lot of things. You are going to ask whatever you have question in your mind. Maybe you are going to know about the culture and cuisine and some different thoughts of the people, because
Yeah.
all over the India, maybe not all over the India, maybe you get a chance to connect all over the world. So in this way you are able to talk, you are able to know the different mindset of people and what are the things are going on that particular place. So
Yes.
this is the wonderful way that we are getting the chance to interact many people, and we are just putting our thoughts, we are getting question and answer. So just one thing more I'm going to ask you, because we have done already 20 near about, and it's goes very fast. I didn't care about it. So after that, if you have any questions, you can ask to me. Otherwise, we can go for the next session, because really we are running short of time. So my question is that I want to ask two questions in one answer. Just one, I want to know, what did you do to get this level in English language? Did you do something special further, or just you are studying and you are speaking? And I want to know, these days you are talking to many different people, learners, co-learners, maybe YouTuber as well. So what did you observe? What are the problems they are facing? What kinds of questions are you getting always? Because it's happened, people ask same question: how can I improve my communication skill? So what did you observe, and what would you like to say? People, why they are lagging, why they are not working their weakness? So what do you think about it, and what would you like to say?
Okay, so I forgot the first question. Like answer the other one
Just
is that yeah.
I want to know about you, about your English. How did you get this level? My first
Okay.
was.
Yeah. Sure. So I right now the things I said that unless until you work on vocabulary, your English is going to be very narrow. And believe me, unless until your vocabulary is not broaden, you are not going to speak broaden English. And
Hmm.
if you are broadening your vocabulary every day, check out my YouTube channel. Every day I'm providing at least 50 plus words, like some basic daily use words, some advanced level words. It's only because so that the people kept adding each and every day few English words, and that must be very new, so that they
Hmm.
keep using their vocabulary, and they must be able to have the talks on any topic. Like right now you can have conversation with me on every topic, take up environmental, woman issue, societal issue, political issue,
Hmm.
economical issue. Sure, I'm not talking about the facts, I'm talking about the analysis, understanding. So in from that point of view, and the most important thing that okay, that made me capable of talking the way I'm talking is that I kept working on vocabulary and reading, of course, as well. Because if you are learning new vocabulary every day, if you are working on vocabulary, definitely you are going to have new words every day, and it's basically adding up something your storehouse. So vocabulary, learning something new words every day, and the other one is that reading different kind of things. Don't go with the only one things. Okay, if you can afford, read the mathematics as well, because if you read from class first to sixth mathematics, the NCRT books, you don't go with the numbers, ignore the numbers what has written in the books, just go with I think the language, the way they has written, it's very lucid, it's very clear. So of course that's the other thing, like learning vocabulary and reading, to and practice, of course. But I think the most important thing, vocabulary, reading, and little bit practice, and you would be able to have the conversation the way I'm having. The another one is
Hmm.
that people are very passionate about, they are very restricted to English language only. How to you have learned English language, how to improve, it's very natural. I'm having the
Hmm.
conversation English only. If you start exploring new things, don't you think that it is adding up in your knowledge, and don't you think you would be able to speak the confident, I think, fluent English? Suppose you want
Hmm.
to have the right now with me on women, I think the older, the children, the education, the economy, the environment, the terrorism, the I think human rights, the animal, and I think human conflict, the development we are having, the social issues, like nowadays we are facing, like the mob lynching the society, and other things like the droughts, the crisis that we are facing right now, the conflicts going on in different parts of the world. So right now
Hmm.
pick up, and I can have the discussion. And do you think by remembering, by cramming few sentences, few lines, you can have discussion on this kind of topics? No. unless until you give a your broad understanding, broad reading to your knowledge, definitely you are not going to speak. So and I just request to the people who are here to have conversation with your language. Instead of working, of course, that's I think if you are learning phrases, sentences, that's fine. It's nothing wrong if you are doing that way, but try to learn something. It must be
Hmm.
like enhancing your personality as a person. What do you do with the English only? If you have crammed few vocabulary, few sentences of English, few phrases, few idiom, that's fine. But do you think that if you have remember crammed 100 sentences, 100 idiom phrases, you are going to use in any conversation? No, unless until you don't have the knowledge of the things like around, definitely you are not going to have the uses of that things that you have learned, like phrases, idioms. So have the, I think, reading understanding of different things. I'm just don't asking go any university, do something PhD level research. No, just make it a habit that every day, even if you are listening some newspaper, go ahead, because in newspaper in 20 or 30 minutes you would listen, I think, whole crisp the things that are going around in the country, and you will keep adding something in your storehouse. So that's how you can do something that you want to do, instead of focusing
Hmm.
on English, because English is English only. So yeah.
Hmm. Absolutely all right. What I believe, I always believe that if you are able to speak in your native language, it could be Hindi, it could be Kannada, any language, then you can
Yeah.
also speak in your English language, because information is very important inside the mind. If you have information, then you can speak. If
Yeah.
you don't have more information about the country, about the society, so what will you speak in your native language? And if you are not able to speak in your native language, how will you speak in English language?
Yeah.
So that means the thoughts is very important. Generating the thoughts from there, it's very important. If you are very, if you someone has very limited knowledge, they cannot speak even
Yeah.
in their native language. So thoughts are very important. Whatever you are telling, I'm totally, I agree with you, because same things I believe. Thoughts is very important. First you have to emulate lot of thoughts and try to generate lot of thoughts, then you can speak with English as well as your native language. The same language you can speak. And if someone is not able to speak in their native language, so how it is possible they are going to speak with English language? So I'm totally agree with you. I totally agree with you that the thoughts are very important. Okay.
And,
So
and the
really,
yeah, and the last point I just want to add, this must be the last one. And
hmm,
instead of making English, your whole purpose is just I think the way, because it's not
hmm,
the end. It's a way to reach the end goal. And end goal is a personality you want to become, and the
hmm,
English can be like I'm having this conversation in English. English is not my end goal. My end goal is to become the person, the very decent person. I think the
hmm,
realized as knowledge, but
right.
it by the way. So instead of making English a end goal, okay, I am going to speak English. Then what? You know, is English just a way? And just don't focus on this way in the sense that okay, this is the destination. This is just a way,
Hmm,
and must be different. It may be money for some people, it may be some kind of recognition for some people, and it may be some kind of, I think, social service for the people. So it depends person to person. So I think with this we should wrap it up, because it's I think
hmm. This kind of activities. So really, I'm very glad to you. It was really very rapturous conversation with you. Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me and